Hello, and welcome back to another Chris McPherson Show World Cup Daily Dose for February the 14th. And there is a lot to unpack, including a devastating blow to the Australia's T20 World Cup hopes, rising mid-tier nations, and lots more. We've got India's Women's Tour of Australia getting underway as well to touch on, and a few games to preview, including some key clashes and a heavyweight clash that maybe doesn't have as much pressure as it usually would. But, of course, if you're liking your cricket news and you're wanting to stay up to date, make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, hit that bell icon down below so you get those notifications, and get involved in the comments. Let us know what your key takeaways have been from the days so far. We're a week into this World Cup now. Plenty of water under the bridge. Who's starting to impress? Who's disappointing? Who's somewhere in between? Let us know. And, of course, if you want to keep up to date with your sports shorts and your quick snippets, head to at the Chris Mack Show on your favourite social media platforms where you can find us. But let's start with that big blow for the Aussies, and it was defeat to Zimbabwe for the second time in as many attempts in T20 World Cup history. Zimbabwe, 169 for 2, bowled out Australia for 146 to win by 23 runs. And it's fair to say, Australia were never really in the chase in this one, and this has blown this group wide open. It may well, depending on results, come down to net run rate as to who progresses to the Super 8s, and everyone is on notice, and the pressure on some of these games to come, including Australia's upcoming match against Sri Lanka, has absolutely intensified. But let's talk about Zimbabwe's innings first of all. 2 for 169. Brian Bennett for 60 with 64 anchored it. He controlled the tempo. He was solid. He was classy. He did what he needed to do. Maramani's early 35 off 21 got things started and kept them to a solid power play score. Then you had Ryan Burl come in with 35 off 30. It was a smart innings with that one big moment, that straight drive, which hit Marcus Stoinis' hand, impacting him, meaning he was out of our attack early. And then, of course, Sikandar Raza, you don't have many Zimbabwean games without him popping his head up. 25 off 13 not out. Some late punch, some boundaries, and some momentum dragging Zimbabwe to that total. For Australia, a little disappointing that only 2 wickets across 20 overs. Cameron Green, probably one of the rare bright spots there, 1 for 6. But again, a really disappointing effort with the ball. And it's fair to say they followed up much the same with the bat, and this campaign is in turmoil. They lost 4 wickets inside 4.3 overs. The opening bowlers of Muzarabani and Evans ripped through the top order. Some poor shot selection. Yes, Travis Head was a little unfortunate with the ball that deflected off his boot, but at the end of the day, that inside edge was always going to have him in some sort of trouble. Josh Inglis, Tim David, they got cramped up and got caught with poor shot selection. Cameron Green was gone early, and then, as we said, Travis Head worked over, eventually chopped onto the stumps off his boot, and it's just a tough start for the Aussies. Matt Renshaw and Glenn Maxwell tried to revive the innings a little, and let's be fair, Matt Renshaw probably wasn't the likely candidate we thought, but 65 off 44 was the only real proper resistance that looked like giving us any fighting chance. Maxwell, 31 off 32. Never really got fluent. He looked like he was struggling reading the ball off the slow deck. It was a 77-run partnership that gave us a little bit of hope, which turned out to be false in the end. But Zimbabwe, they closed it out. Muzarabani, 4 for 17, career best. He had pace, he had bounce, he had changes of pace. Absolutely nailed those slow balls. And Brad Evans, 3 for 23, hard lengths, no free or cheap runs. And then they started poorly in the field, it's fair to say, Zimbabwe, but they came good later on. Renshaw getting out late to that Muzarabani slower ball, that absolutely sealed it. But I think Zimbabwe, if they can find some consistency in what they're delivering, they could absolutely be a threat here and push through to the Super 8s, but we'll wait and see. As we say, Zimbabwe now on the verge of the Super 8s. Australia now realistically probably need to beat Sri Lanka and Oman to be safe, and nothing's a given anymore. So we'll wait and see how this plays out, but it's certainly a lot of pressure on that Sri Lanka game, as I said. A quick tangent before we move on. Watching the game last night, keeping in touch with our cricket correspondent, Adam Clements, and I was talking about the fact of blessing Muzarabani, the name, the physical presence, what he represents, the way he delivers on the field. Screams out to me, with that skill set, a potential BBL cult hero, a marquee type, especially on one of the quicker decks, whether it's Perth, Hobart, or Brisbane. New ball bounce, hard back of a length, power play strike bowler with a wonderful slow ball and change of pace. on some of those tight Aussie decks at different points, he could absolutely have the skill set to star. He's got that big frame, he's got that big energy and the big hair as well. Takes wickets, has pace. He could be an instant crowd favourite, bums on seat kind of guy. He could be a club fear factor sort of bowler. Bring him in, get him there, ramping it up. I know that Brisbane tried it last year with Shaheen Shah Afridi, didn't quite work out, but maybe, just maybe, for something a little bit different, a different turn, a little different taste, Blessing Muzarabani it should be a big bash marquee in season 26-27. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Or if you've seen some other players in the World Cup that you might think might be worth a look. We move on to game 2, and we're talking Canada versus the UAE. And the UAE got the win here, 154 for 5, defeating Canada 150 for 7 by 5 wickets. The story of the game, Canada's total, probably not quite what it needed to be. Junaid Siddique ripped through them with 5 for huge impact to restrict them to 150. But then Canada, it felt like they were in the race. 66 for 4, they had the UAE. The chase looked like it was wobbling. Then all of a sudden they came together. Ayant Sharma and Sohaib Khan, 74 not out, 51, 84 of the 85 runs required when they came together. And again, the counterpunch, it just got away from them, despite Saad bin Zafar's 3-14, which put UAE under that serious pressure. The two in Ayant and Sohaib just steered the UAE to a really positive position, got to the point where they needed 8 off the last over. Ayant nailed a first ball 6. Sohaib falls late, but UAE scramble through for the final run, making all of Junaid Siddique's work with the 5 for absolutely worthwhile as they secured a win, UAE, to get themselves moving. And last but not least, in terms of the recaps, let's talk the USA versus the Netherlands. And the USA dominated the Netherlands, winning by 93 runs. That means the USA stay alive with their first ever T20 international win over the Netherlands. For the USA batting, Makamala with 79 or 51 with 4 sixes, clean power hitting. Was well assisted by Ranjane with 48 of 24 not out with some death over ignition. Just applied total pressure. They had that scoring rate up around 10 most of the innings, which meant the Netherlands were going to have huge work to do. And early wickets meant that they were just in trouble from day dot. Harmeet with 4 for 21, Van Skolwyk with 3 for 21, adding the closing punch. The Netherlands continued what we've seen from them. Collapses happening. 66 for 5 to all out for 103. This means that USA are now third in Group A and back in the conversation. Still some work to do, but in the conversation nonetheless if they can continue to perform. Before we move on to the previews, did just want to touch on, we mentioned it off the top, India's women have started their tour of Australia with a warm-up win at North Sydney Oval over the Governor-General's 11. India were chasing 121 with a fairly close to full-strength team. Ended up winning by 5 wickets with 15 balls to spare. Smriti Mandana was one of the stars with 36. We had Kaur and Deepti Sharma was getting into the 20s as well, stabilising. And then Rika Ghosh probably left a little bit out there, a little bit of impatience rather than pressure, just trying to get the job done. The Governor-General's side with the bat, they were in a lot of trouble early. Sienna Ginger and Alana King getting them home. Sienna Ginger with 40 not out, the standout. But again, India too strong here. A positive start for them. The series starts on Sunday, so tomorrow at the SCG. So the games will be getting underway Sunday night. Looking forward to seeing how this goes to the powerhouse of women's cricket as Australia look to transition to this new era as they go forward. We're watching that under the new captain in Sophie Molyneux. But let's move on to the previews now. Let's start with Ireland versus Oman. And it's not pretty reading for either of these sides. Both 0-2, both ugly net run rates. -2 for Ireland, -4.3 for Oman. This one's a pride one. This one is just for pride on the line. For Ireland, their fielding has been atrocious. They need to sort that out. They're also going to be without their captain in Paul Sterling. That means Lorcan Tucker will take the lead. He needs to be composed and settle and steer this team well. Harry Tector is going to become much more crucial for the Irish, so he will be one to watch. For Oman, their batting hasn't fired. They've lost 19 wickets in their 2 games, all out for 103 and then 9 for 120. Mohammad Naseem is the with 53 not out, set the record for the oldest World Cup T20 half-centurion. So they have got some bright sparks there. They've got some players who can do the job. But it's going to come down to who holds their chances in the field and who can get on top, especially in the power play. It's going to be Ireland's pace versus Oman's fragile batting lineup. I think I'll be leading towards Ireland here, not with a whole lot of confidence. But again, who walks away likely with 1 win from the tournament, who walks away with none. But again, never say never after what we saw last night. Next up, the second of the games is England versus Scotland. Scotland. The Scottish sporting fans will be dreaming of some sort of double headline here. The Six Nations game lines up with this as England and Scotland play each other on the same weekend in the Calcutta Cup Derby. So they'll be looking for the cricket upset. They'll be looking for the Six Nations upset as well. If they could get both, it would be parties in the streets of Edinburgh for days to come. England come in off a loss to the West Indies. They cannot afford a slip here, and they'll be more than aware of that. They know Italy is still lurking as another banana peel after we saw what they did to Nepal. England should get the win. They have to get the win and have to keep winning. Otherwise, they face finding their way out at a group stage exit. They need some more batting consistency, plenty of starts, but no one going on with it. For Scotland, they've already understand the conditions in Kolkata. They've played twice there already. If they're a chance, then they need George Munsey and Michael Jones to absolutely perform as the openers and get a platform laid for their team. The spotlights, Tom Banton could be under pressure, needs some runs. His role might start to become redundant in this side if he can't start to perform quickly. For Scotland, I touched on it before, Michael Jones needs to support Munsey with some real substance. We expect plenty of runs here at Eden Gardens. It's a day-night. It'll be a good surface. It'll be improved even more so later. Could be good for batting second up here. But again, England will go in as very warm favourites. Scotland, the outsiders. But could be another momentous World Cup upset if they can get it done. And last but not least, New Zealand and South Africa, the big picture. I touched on it before. This is weirdly low pressure. It's usually a heavyweight clash, but it looks like they're both tracking pretty safely to go through to the Super 8s at this point. Still matters, though, because momentum, matchups, and bragging rights are absolutely on the line. And, of course, it's not that finishing position that matters. As we know with the automatic seedings that the ICC's done, it takes that away. So these teams may experiment a little bit, but they both know they need to win as well to ensure, because nothing is a given. For South Africa, watch, obviously, Kagiso Rabada, his form, just hasn't quite been on the money. He needs a clean, disciplined outing after the chaos of their last game. And then they might have a look to tweak their spin options here. They may avoid going with their two left-arm finger spinners with New Zealand having so many left-handed batsmen. It'll be probably a decision between Corbin Bosch and Linda. Have a watch on that as the selection drops tonight. For New Zealand, Rachin Ravindra, he is the man in the spotlight. He looks the part absolutely, but his T20 output hasn't really matched the hype yet. Here's a chance to cash in against a South African side that on the balance of bowling attack should suit his game quite well. Hopefully, Ravindra can absolutely go bananas here and make an absolute red-hot contest of this one. Looking forward to seeing it. It is the same red soil pitch from the Afghanistan thriller. Dew will come into effect because it's the night game, so the toss may be really crucial here. But again, look for a big finish. Look for an exciting game. I think we'll have a lot more like that South Africa-Afghanistan game on the line here. But that's your daily dose for your 14th of February, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're going to be tuning in watching lots of cricket tonight, make sure to take care of the Valentine's Day duties beforehand. But let us know your takes. Are Zimbabwe legit? Are Australia in big trouble? And are they going to bomb out in the group stage? And Muzra Abani, is he the BBL cult hero we all want to see? Or is there someone else emerging from this T20 World Cup you'd love to see signed to your BBL franchise or another one? Make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe, and get involved in the comment. Let us know what you think about all those questions I've just posed. Make sure to hit the bell as well to get those notifications and follow along on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X at The Chris Mack Show. But as always, thanks for tuning in to your home of the black and white of sports. No grey opinions here. We'll see you again soon.